When I was a little girl, that's when I was first convinced that Jesus was real and he can do anything. This is a picture of me and my mom at my grandmother's house after a time that I will never forget. She was fresh out of the hospital and we went to the country to go visit different people. They say God uses the foolish things, but this is a story about how God used two little girls to save their mom. So I was in the 5th grade and my sister Danielle, she was in the 6th grade, and we was living on Mulberry Street in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I forgot what year this was. One morning, it was early in the morning, I was woken up by my sister screaming my name, and it was so early. I thought it was time to go to school, and I just wanted a few more minutes, but she just kept on calling me. And I kept laying down, and like I said, I was up, but I didn't want to get up. And she kept calling me, so she was just screaming my name. I finally got up, and I went into the living room only to discover that everything was covered in blood. And I noticed it was somebody in a mask in our house, and he was over my mom, and she was fighting with him, and she was like, go get the broom, go get the mop. And so I went and got the broom and the mop, and we just start beating this guy with the broom and mop, and he's throwing us around, and we just steady beating him with the broom and mop until he just get up and run. He runs out the door. He's run, he gone. And so then we able to see what's going on, and my mother, she's very injured. He had broke in and he cut her up really, really bad, and we didn't have a phone, so we was calling the neighbors, and the neighbor finally came, and she called 911 for us. A man had broken our house and my mother, and tried to kill her. He cut her neck from like ear to ear, and he tried to gouge her eyes out. He punctured her lungs, and she lost 5 quarts of blood. But we got her dressed, and we took her to the porch. And all that stuck with me is she talked before the ambulance came. It took them so long to come. And she told us with her vocal cords cut that we did not have to go to school that day. That's something that will always stick with me, because when she went to the doctor, they thought she was dead, and they were going to send her to the morgue. They thought it was nothing they can do to save her, but she's here to this day. She's here. And when she came out the hospital, she couldn't talk because, like I said, her vocal cords were cut in 2. But the amazing thing to me is that stuck with me is she talked with her vocal cords cut. It was a miracle. You know, she wouldn't have been able to do that. And her losing all that blood and her living, that was a testimony to me that the God she served, which is Jesus, that he could save you from anything. And she talked with her vocal cords cut. She did some impossible stuff. And so, yeah, as a little girl, that really grew my faith, because I knew she really liked Jesus. I knew that was her God. And I knew he did that thing for her. And like I said, this is a picture of me and my mama after she came from the hospital. And she lives to this day. This is the other little girl. God uses the foolish thing. Who would think? I think that's why our bond is so strong. We have other siblings, but we went through this together. We got through it together. God used us that day, because ain't no way.